My name is Tanshanok Nipanon, a fourth-year student from the Faculty of Arts, MC of Jula, the fifth generation from the International Division.
And my name is Tita Jamnatha, a fourth-year student from the Faculty of Arts, MC of Jula, the fifth generation from the International Division. We are the representative of the 3MT organizer, and we are also from the Engineering Graduate School Association, or EGSA. It is such a great honor to act as a master of ceremony for today's event.
As you all know, the event today is the grand final round of 3MT, a 3-minute speech for competitors to share academic knowledge, and also is a platform to present students' public speaking skills. 3MT is organized by Graduate School and EGSA Chulalongkorn University in collaboration with Total Access Communication Public Company Limited, or DTAC, as well as Sprinkler Nature.
Without any further ado, we would now like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Thammanun Nojak, who is the Dean of Graduate School, to give us the opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Thammanun Nojak.
Good morning, commentator, participant, and student. I would like to welcome all of you to the 3-minute thesis grand final. I am delighted to be here with you today. First, I would like to congratulate the 20 finalists who have been through over several competitors from the several universities. I believe that all of you have endeavor for the competition. As you know, the research typically would take many months to conduct your thesis, and sometimes several hours to present your work. But here, just 3 minutes thesis presentation will provide the competitor as opportunity to communicate your thesis in a short time. It sounds difficult, but possible. Moreover, all the speakers today are from different backgrounds and disciplines, and this is a challenge to prove yourself. How does simply explain your works for specialists here to be understanding. Last but not least, I would like to thank the graduate student for participation, DTAC for cooperation and support, Sprinkler Nature as a Asian Pacific Lao sponsor, graduate school, the Engineering Graduate Student Association, and also all 5 commentators. Without all of you, the 3-minute presentation competition at Chulalongkorn University would not be a success. I hope this 3-minute presentation will be continued annually next year. This is an opportunity time for me to take the care the official opening the 3-minute presentation for the thesis, and I wish today will have potential candidate who will win the competition and to join the University of Queensland, Austria presentation later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Thammanun Nojak, for the opening remarks. Next, I would like to introduce our 5 judges for today's competition. Please join me in welcoming our first judge, Mr. Pongpira Shawala Thawat, the Advisory Board of QQ Thailand Company. Next, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Warawi Howen from the Chemistry Department of Faculty of Science, Chulalongkorn University.
Next, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Nattama Pongpairod from English Department, Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University. Please welcome Dr. Thanasin Shutintaranon, Acting of Academic Deputy Dean from the Faculty of Communications Arts, Chulalongkorn University. And for our large judge, please welcome Associate Professor Sathaporn Ngam Ukhod from the Nutrition and Dietetic Department from the Faculty of Allied Health, Chulalongkorn University.
Now we would like to again invite Associate Professor Dr. Tamanun Nutak along with our lovely judges to come up on the stage and take a group photo together.
Would you please remain on stage while I invite all our competitors to come up to the front of the stage to take another group picture? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we give the stage to our speakers, please allow us to briefly present the 3MT competition and its purposes.
As we realize that communication is very important, it is undoubtedly that one should present the most difficult topic in the simplest way for the best understanding of listeners. Therefore, we would like to make the 3MT stage as a platform for everyone to share their technical knowledge and to improve their performance.
3-Minute Thesis is a competition for PhD students all around the world developed by the University of Queensland. It gives the opportunity for them to explain their research within 3 minutes to a non-specialist audience, and the presenter can use only one static PowerPoint slide while presenting.
Initially, the 3MT was held at the University of Queensland, Australia in 2008, and in a couple of years later, the concept was promoted and adopted by many universities in Australia and New Zealand. The competition was held in the University of Queensland in 2010, and since 2011, 3MT competition has become more and more popular among universities all around the world. Now, 3MT competition are held over 350 worldwide universities, including our Chulalongkorn University.
The competition is a great stage for graduate students and is an excellent opportunity to publicize the work. We hope the 3MT competition contributes benefits to all competitors, not only academic knowledge, but also useful expertise in terms of public speaking, effective communication in limited time, and attractive presentation slide technique. These skills will be applicable for further research and works. In the competition, it is obligatory for the candidates to follow the rules.
Next, I would like to mention the judging criteria for the competition as shown on the screen. So we will give a brief rule that all speakers will have to finish the speech within 3 minutes in one slide, and the slide should be static, and there should be no animation, no movement, and the presentation is to be only spoken word.
For comprehension and content, speakers must have a clear background in your research with logical sequence in your presentation. The presentation should provide an understanding that is clearly described. Most importantly, speakers must be able to communicate in language appropriate to a non-specialist audience and have good time management in those 3 minutes.
For engagement and communication, speakers must be able to enhance what the audience wants to know about the research that is not too generalized. You need to know how to get the audience attention, good stage performance, and have obvious slides. Today is the grand final round, and this round only one competitor will be the champion.
In the final round, the gold champion for PhD, the gold champion for master's degree, and the silver champion, as well as the popular vote winner, will receive the thesis grant. The gold champion for PhD will receive 50,000 baht. The gold champion for master's degree and the silver champion will receive 50,000 baht and 35,000 baht respectively.
And as for the popular vote winner, they will receive 15,000 baht, and we are delighted to announce that the PhD competitor who has won the competition will also represent Thailand in competing in Asian Pacific. As for the popular vote winner, we will soon have a QR code that will be shown up here, and you can go ahead and scan and vote for your favorite competitor, which the time that we will start counting the points will be from the first competitor, and we will end it in the last competitor session.
Now is the time that you have all been waiting for. Let me introduce today's speakers. They are divided into 2 groups. For the first group, there are 10 speakers as shown on the screen. The first 10 speakers. Okay, and now our first speaker, I'm afraid, is ready right now. Miss Arunothai Singtakel from the Faculty of Nursing, Burapha University. Please give her a big round of applause.
Deliberate self-harm or DHS is the important mental health concern in adolescents. The question is, why choosing to study in adolescence? Why not other age group? This picture may be alarming for everyone. It was from WHO 2018. This orange color and this orange and red color represent the highlight of DHS in adolescents. Importantly, Thailand is in the orange zone, indicating that Thailand is a country with alarmingly high rates of DHH in adolescents. Imagine, please imagine, if we allow this phenomenon to continue, how bad would the quality of life in Thai adolescents? So, my PhD projects aim to determine the prevalence and test a causal model of DHH in Thai adolescents. For results, I found the prevalence of DHH in adolescents: boy 47.5%, followed by adolescent girl 44.2%. The most self-harm behavior is beating themselves, followed by punching themselves, and the less frequent one was cutting themselves. Their engagement on DHH behavior from hidden cases who had never been diagnosed with a mental health problem before, as 3 to 14 times. Moreover, my DHH model fit the data well with the most 5 influencing factors, including gender, family relationship, school connectedness, stress, and resilience. And then I provide the psycho educations with integrating those 5 factors, and then continue follow-up and assessment. Finally, there are significantly decreased the number of DHH in school-based study. With this, the success of this project will not only reduce the medical cost of medicines, but we can improve the quality of life in Thai adolescents as well. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. It was such a very nice presentation, and now I would like to ask our judges committee to give her some comments. Would you please remain on stage while our judges give comments? Thank you.
I think I can't comment on your specialty because I'm not on that subject. But anyway, just would like to give you 2 comments. The first thing is when there's a dead air, like technical problem like that, try to feel it. Try to feel it just like what you have rehearsed before. The second thing is I like your body language. It actually makes me understand better. But for the the structure of the speech or everything, I probably gonna have to leave with some other ajahn. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, according to Kun Kiu, I like your presentation, and of course, I see that you try to control the situation while the technical error happen. Yeah, but for the recommendation, you have to control your face expression. Yes, about when you deal with a situation like this.
Okay, I like your thesis topic. It is very interesting and it should contribute a lot to a big problem in our society. Okay, there are some recommendations for your consideration. There are some grammatical English mistakes or errors, especially the plural form. You didn't pronounce or put S in some nouns like factors or So. And one more recommendation is I think you convey the messages it sounded more like from your memorization. I mean, it didn't sound quite natural. Okay, but overall, it's quite good.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you very much.
Okay, for your thesis topic, because the DSH model is kind of key of your thesis, right? I would like, it would be better if you could give us more detail regarding the DSH model, what kind of data you get and how it can reduce the number of the DSH scientifically. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Overall project sounds interesting. I'm not in a field, but I think the way you engage the audience, it's not, you can do it better by maybe eye contact or, facing the person who listen to the topic. I mean, it seems that you focusing on details of the slides and presentation. I mean, with this kind of 3-minute presentation, it doesn't need to fill up with a lot of information, but you have to make sure that the audience, engage, realize how important the work that you've done, and the detail in terms of experiment or scientific may not be that important as long as people engage on what you're trying to convince them that what you do is very useful and important, I think. So, but the overall project sounds interesting and must be very useful for people in the area.
Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would also again like to inform you that since our first speaker has started her presentation, the popular vote link is now on our 3MT Facebook page. So audiences and participants and also viewers on the Facebook Live right now can also join into voting our popular vote winner in the 3MT Facebook page. That was a very nice presentation indeed. Next, I would continue with our next speaker, Ms. Inish Silva from the Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give her a big round of applause.
Okay.
Can you picture a world without roads? Here's a challenge. If I asked you to go back home, or to go grocery shopping, or to go meet your friends for a movie, but you had to avoid all roads on the way there, could you do it? How many of you would make it? This is the issues that animals face every day. Roads are everywhere. Every day we use roads. By 2050, 25 million kilometers of new paved roads will develop globally. That's enough to encircle the planet more than 600 times. Roads connect us. There's a silent thread happening in the background with every kilometer of road built. Let's imagine that you're very small. Maybe you don't see very well. You can only move slowly or travel at night. Cars don't see you or stop for you. In your mind, cars are terrifying predators as you face the open road. Would you even want to try? Roads are unavoidable barriers for animals when they try to find a suitable home, a mate, or food. They can't just check Google Maps, they need to explore. For them, roads don't connect, they isolate, they kill. So what are the road impacts in Thailand? To answer this, I investigated the highway that separates national parks, Khao Yai and Thaplan. These are two important protected areas with incredibly diverse animal communities, sanctuaries for wildlife. I looked into which animals are getting hit, and what I found was shocking. 1,395 animals killed, and that was just within 100 days, and in only 0.01% of roads in Thailand. But what does this mean? Thailand has over 396,000 kilometers of roads. To put this into perspective, if placed in a straight line, that's the distance to the moon. If what I saw happening in my small transect is happening throughout the whole country, my lowest estimate points in 750,000 animals killed every day. If that were to happen to us here, the entire population of Bangkok, over 8 million people, would disappear in only 11 days. As alarming as this sounds, it could still underestimate the problem. We need more information, and we need more studies like mine, because we need to find ways to both reduce roadkill and to make roads safer for both wildlife and for people. In the right places, with careful planning, roads can actually help protect nature. Thank you.
Well, let me start. I really like your presentation. I think you could capture the audience attention very well. And you didn't seem to rush in those 3 minutes. You gave a nice introduction, and you could include all the important sections in a thesis, right? These 3 sections. And yes, in a concise and comprehensible manner. Overall, so impressive presentation.
You remind me of a TED Talk. Well, yeah, I like that. I like the structure. You know, it's very easy for me to follow. I kind of can guess what's going to come next. And then, you know, by the end, I would love to hear a little bit more of, you know, something like your suggestions, maybe to the government or anything like that, you know, a little bit more. That would be a very good ending to me. Thank you so much. But that was very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. I like your introduction that you start with a question. That's good. Okay. And you present quite naturally. Yes. And one thing that I would to recommend you, if you stress some keyword while you are talking, it will more meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the way you talk and the way you engage people and the way you kind of try to convey people to follow you and how important you are, what you are doing now, which is very, very good for your presentation. Yeah, so if you, like the commentator said, if you could give us more about what the impact or the government can be involved in your thesis, that would be great. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, great presentation. You can get very good engagement from the audience. But since you have time to spare, in addition to what you're going to give by suggestion about the impact, I would like to learn more about the more like scientific studies or ways of how you get the data. I assume you may have like maybe 5 to 10 seconds, giving a little more into detail what you have done, in addition to the impact that the previous judge have suggested. Right? So I look at the watch, and you still have time to spare. All right? But overall, it's very good. Impressive.
Thank you very much. It was a very nice presentation. And without further ado, we will now move on to our next speaker. I would like to invite Ms. Kulanan Puprasit from the Faculty of Engineering, Chulalongkorn University on stage. Please give her a big round of applause.
Okay, first of all, could you please think about your family, your father, your mother, your friend, or even yourself who have heart disease, stroke, or type 2 diabetes? Any of you have it? If you have it, maybe they have become the one in the number of the WHO already announced. The WHO, World Health Organization, already confirmed that there are 10 million people around the world die from heart disease and stroke and also type 2 diabetes every single year. And the reason that they become to that disease is from the food that they eat, such as bread, cake, cookie, bakery, or anything that made from the margarine. Because inside the margarine have one thing very harmful, we call it trans fat. Trans fat is occur when they're making a margarine by using the hydrogenation process that they normally use. They are using the chemical, they're using the high pressure, high temperature to reduce the trans fat. But trans fat is very sensitive to temperature. So if they still use high temperature, trans fat will still occur in the process for sure. So for the old method, it's chemically, it's complex and it's expensive. And the point is have trans fat in your margarine. And because of this, I want to design the process to making a margarine become a trans fat-free margarine by using plasma technique. I'm using DBD plasma hydrogenation. DBD stands for dielectric barrier discharge plasma. It's long name, but it's useful because this one can operate at room temperature, ambient pressure, and no need to use any chemical at all. So it's very, very environmental friendly. It's less cost because it's not complex method, and it's less possible to have a trans fat in the margarine because we operate at the room temperature. So for this method, maybe we can save 10 million lives around the world. We can save our family, our friend, even ourselves to get healthy. And we still can enjoy the food that we love by using DBD plasma hydrogenation. Thank you.
There's still time.
Yeah.
No, my point is, if there's still time, I would like to hear a little bit more about DBD plasma because to me, it's interesting. Well, I'm not, my specialty is not here, there, but anyway, I guess that your ครับ อ๋อเหรอ อ๋อ ขอโทษ ไม่เป็นไรครับ เข้าใจผิด โทษที ครับ Okay, but I guess that it must be kind of challenging for you to explain the technical terms. It's some kind of understandable, but it would be better.
Okay.
But I understand it, most of the thing. There is another thing, positive comment for me is I like when you sell the pain that gathers people in, and people would like to listen to you more when you sell the pain. Keep selling the pain.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I like your introduction. It could capture the audience attention to the problem, to the issue in your thesis. Okay. However, some recommendations. I think the content could be proofread on some grammatical issues. There are still some errors. Okay. I don't have time to point them out here. Okay. But overall, the content is comprehensible and useful. The last comment is I think you could, like maybe Ajahn could talk more about this. I think it's like you presented your thesis in quite a monotonous way. I think you could make your voice more exciting, more stimulating. Okay, that could capture the audience attention more. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, apart from the verbal language, okay, I will move on to your body language for your presentation. As you see, every time when you move your body, especially your hand, you should keep in mind that the audience eyes will follow you.
Yes.
So, if you want to use your hand as a locative gesture, you have to make clear that where you want to point. Okay, this is the important things.
Yeah. Thank you.
The your research is quite interesting, and I love your hashtag Save Millions Lives from the Margarine. But I would love to hear more what a DBD plasma is, and I think you could kind of give us more a bit detail about that and how it can get the trans fat free margarine. Okay, so but I love the way you solve the pain, because you have the pain clearly and you solve it fit with your pain, which is good for your presentation. But if you can practicing more and speak more fluently, you can get more engagement.
Thank you.
Yeah, as many judges already mentioned that you still have some time to spare, right? The details about what you've done scientifically must be important. And I think if you have, because trans fat is people aware of that already, but I mean the process to change it, it's not only the DBD plasma.
Yeah.
You mentioned about process low cost, maybe some number in terms of comparison might be impressive. For example, you mentioned about low cost.
Yeah.
If you have some statistic telling people, because you're doing things with process, right? You
Yep.
more like engineering kind of work,
Yeah.
right? So in order to demonstrate or convince people, it's not only the awareness of the health part, but you also have to convince people if you are the one who developed the process and whether your process is marketable or your process is, from economical point of view. So maybe that would become more attractive for, say, if I'm a company who going to buy, the process that you develop, what is the key point, So the cost that I would spend, environmental friendly, how that can be environmental friendly. So explaining about process, it may be helpful in that aspect.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was a very interesting thesis presentation. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our next speaker for today, Mr. Matthew Crane from Graduate School, King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give him a big round of applause.
Climate change poses one of the greatest challenges of our generation. Together, we need to find a way to move beyond burning fossil fuels. Wind power provides a green source of energy that is on the rise globally. In Southeast Asia, wind power is taking off. In just over the past 10 years, the capacity has grown by 40 times. However, wind power often has an invisible cost on wildlife. I want you to imagine for a moment, you wake up one morning and you find a fan outside of your house. The blades are twice the size of the Bayok Tower. You now need to navigate to work, to get food, to see your friends, without getting hit. Now imagine there are 10 of them, 40, 100. This is the reality that bats face when we build wind farms. My research is working on understanding the impact of these wind farms on bats in Southeast Asia. Most of the research on bats and wind farms has come from North America and Europe, where they've found that bats can die in almost 600,000 every year. However, we know almost nothing about what's happening in Southeast Asia. This is a big problem because Southeast Asia is one of the bat biodiversity hotspots. We have over 380 species. That's 4 times what's in North America and Europe combined. They're also very different. So for example, just in Thailand, we have the world's smallest bat. It's about 13 centimeters. We also have the world's largest bat at 1.5 meters. So my research is aimed at developing a method to predict which bat species are going to be hit. And what we found is that we can predict this based on the shape and design of the bat's wing. You might be asking yourself, why is this important? We need to know this information so that we can develop cost-effective methods to stop bats coming to wind farms. We also can use this information to inform monitoring. Which species do we need to know more about? So even you can help with this. Bring attention to this information. If you want to help, talk to your friends about bats. They're out at night and we often forget about them. But together we can make bats and wind power greener and safer for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, what I like the most is you leave me some time to think. And yeah, that is something that we have to think seriously about that. I must admit that I never thought of that before, but this is the first time that you really trigger my attention. So I like that. You have good eye contacts and very good engagement. I guess that all of us like to engage with your conversation as well, and we would like to ask that how did you observe how the bats were killed as well. So I like that. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for your fascinating presentation. Okay. One thing that I would like to mention that your picturing gesture, such as when you say about the 1.5 meter wings of the bat. Yep. It very good. It helped a lot for the audience to imagine how big the bat is. So it's very helpful for your presentation, your picturing gesture. Thank you.
Well, that's a very impressive presentation. And what I like most about it is you had a nice interval. You gave some pauses for the audience to follow and think along with you. And that could capture and engage the audience attention very well. And one more thing is, with a very nice introduction, you gradually led the audience into your main idea. That's very good. And all of the content was comprehensible, was conveyed in a natural way with a nice body language. And overall, I was very impressed. Thank you.
Okay, for me, it's just like you can read my mind because you have a question, why you have to study this, but you also answer it. That is very good of your presentation. And overall, it's very nice, and you have a kind of good body languages, so that can let the audience understand more about your presentation. That's very nice, very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. I think you've done well with the timing, the way you speak on all the key of how to convince people. You talk about impact and you talk about objective very clearly, and we learn a lot of details about what you've done and what we expect to get. I think it's almost perfect, but unless you want to dress in the Batman, that would be very more attractive than that. But overall, it's very good, very good.
And may I add one more? Very nice time management.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Matthew Crane. And now it is time for our next speaker. I would like to invite Ms. Nacha Ruamyat from the Faculty of Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Environment. Please give her a big round of applause.
Thailand's development has been generally based on agricultural production. Among the agricultural subsectors, crop production is the most important. However, crop residue left in the field after harvest has been rising rapidly. Many farmers usually get rid of their crop residue to high-value biosurfactant. Surfactant is the main ingredient in many products around us. Many farmers usually get rid of their crop residue by open burning, which produce air pollutants to the atmosphere such as PM2.5 and PM10 dust. Recently, the level of these dust had risen beyond safe limit in many provinces. So, people cannot see the blue sky and have to wear N95 masks. What shall we do to solve this problem? My thesis aims to find the alternative ways to manage crop residue. I'm interested in the bioconversion of crop residue to high-value biosurfactant. Surfactant is the main ingredient in many products around us such as dishwashing agent, detergent, soap, and cosmetic cleansing. Surprisingly, most of them are harmful to humans and the environment. Therefore, a greater attention was paid on biosurfactant in recent years. It is effective, safe, and biodegradable. My research found that we could utilize crop residue as raw material for biosurfactant production. Crop residues were pre-treated by alkali and hydrothermal methods to enhance soluble sugar releasing. Then, biosurfactant-producing bacteria use soluble sugar as their food and generate biosurfactant. Moreover, my bacteria could survive and grow under alkali conditions. That's why we don't need a dangerous acid for pH neutralization. As a result, my developed bioprocess had 3 advantages: low cost, simple, and effective. Last but not least, my research provides a win-win strategy based on biosecure green economy concept. Environmental problems from large amount of crop residue are solved, while the high-value compound is produced. Consequently, we will have clean air all year.
Okay. I think your topic is very interesting and very beneficial. Okay. And you could cover the content appropriately with respect to the time allowed, with good organization. And again, well, I'm outside the field, but I could understand the messages very clearly. Okay, however, some recommendations like, although you covered all the essential content, the way you convey the content was not quite natural. Sounded like from your memory, more from your memory. And in the last part, it's like you ended the content abruptly. I didn't realize that it was the ending. Okay, although you had the phrase last but not least, but then okay. And well, in terms of pronunciation, maybe like some you know, well, appropriate pronunciation on some words and sounds, consonants and vowels could be practiced more. But that's fine because you are not a native speaker of English. Thank you.
I like your confidence. There's something that I like the most is you're not trying to invent your own accent, even though you don't have that kind of, something like English kind of accents like that. But it's very easy to understand, speaking out just like that. I like your body language, especially the last inhale. Yeah, I like that. That's understandable that, hey, right now I can breathe, finally. Yeah, that must be it. But the rest of it, your specialty, your topic, I'm probably going to have to leave with someone who is, smarter than me. Thank you.
Okay. I will go for about your body language presentation. First of all, I like your body language, such as 1, 2, 3, and so on. But you have to strengthen your body. Okay, so it will help you to present more powerful. Okay, and of course, at the end of your presentation, if you put some fascinating ending, okay, it will be in mind of the audience. Thank you.
Okay, for your content, I think you can clearly present what you have done in introduction and objective, method, and results. That's great. But the way you speak, it would be great if you can speak more influently, that you can get more engagement from the audience. I think you may have to take more time for keep practicing to get more engagement from the audience. Okay, but for your thesis topic, it's very interesting and it's very impact for us nowadays. Okay, thank you.
I think all judges already give very good comments, and I like your inner, your positive way of presenting, and like she just said, keep practicing. And having a very impressive ending is very important. I mean, you get attention of the audience quite in a reasonable, way. But then at the end, people could not catch this is the end already, because you have to wrap up more impressively, and that would be better. So keep practice.
Thank you.
I forget to give you one comment. Just forget, sorry. Would like to add on a little bit more. I'm not sure whether is it going to be the right way to make it a little more dramatic, especially with this academic pitching like this. But, I will leave this as an option. You don't really have to follow me, but I would make it a little bit more painful by your introduction, make it a little bit more dramatic, painful. You would get a lot of people, you would get a lot more attention, and people would listen and try to think of what's going to be the next, what's next, what's going to be your solutions. And people think, PM 2.5 and what then? What creates from PM 2.5? Just an option.
Thank you very much. And without further ado, I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Nathapong Saipin, Graduate School from National Institute of Development Administration. Please give him a big round of applause.
As e-sport industry in Thailand has been growing strongly, there is rising concern about the physical and mental health of children and adolescents who play or are addicted to e-sport games. Gaming influencers become role models who could impact the behavior of gamers in many ways. Therefore, this thesis aims to study playing behavior of mobile esport game, factor influencing communication and social interaction among gamers, and positive and negative impact to gamers. So it can lead to a recommendation for a balanced policy about esport in Thailand. My thesis utilize the mixed method methodology. The quantitative study is use the survey questionnaire. The qualitative study utilize content analysis, observation, participant observation, and the in-depth interview. The result of this thesis reveal that the first result is about factors that affect gamer communicative and social interactive behavior are gender, psychological characteristics, and the frequency of communication. For the game playing behavior, the effective factors are the game graphic and live stream watching. It's found that playing behavior has both positive and negative results. For the upside, it's relaxing. Playing esport encourages good emotion and feeling. For the downside, it causes health problems. One of the most concerned is about optical problem. For the second result, it's found that multiplayer online battle arena or mobile games, such as ROV or Dota 2, play on this. It's an action game and combined with real-time strategy game that pit two teams of fight against each other. Player will choose and control one character. The common goal is to destroy the main structure of the opponent. The game enhances team working skill, cognitive skill, and decision making. Gamers who want to become an esport player must practice seriously and have self-discipline. The appropriate age for being an esport player is between 16 to 25 years. The final result is how to make the guideline for improving esport management and promotion, together with creating prevention and solution to ensure safety and practical regulation. The cooperation from every stakeholder is needed. The group that needs the most special care is children and adolescents, and the topic that should be serious about are appropriate time, game content, game rate, and social media control. Thank you.
I like your courage. Even though you know right that you're not supposed to read scripts, on the stage. But anyway, I like your courage. Yeah, I'm a Dota fan as well. So yeah, I kind of know what you are trying to say, but it's a little difficult to follow you because you have a lot of punctuation. So try to close the gaps, convey the point, and make it into structure a little bit more. It will be a lot better. Thank you.
Okay, as the Kun Pirapong mentioned that when you read the script, you decrease the ability to communicate with the audience. Okay, and as in fact your thesis is it should be fun, right? As the title, but you can make your PowerPoint presentation to help you to present the data. Okay, so it's not just only the picture, but you can add up some vital data on the presentation as well. So it will help you, and you can look at the screen, okay, instead of your mobile phone.
Your thesis is interesting. However, you know the problem of reading the script, right? And yeah, and I agree, and that could decrease the engagement and the attention from the audience. And also, The other problem is about the time management. It's over 3 minutes. Thank you.
I think your topic is very impact for our communities because we have a big problem about the gamer, right? But the way you present, I think you might need more time for practicing to maybe create some content that can get more engagement from the audience because it's kind of thing that people are facing off every day, especially for the parents who have that the children or kids that get into the game quite very long time with the game, something like that. So if you could make it more simply and more naturally presentation, that would be great.
I like the first judge comment on the previous speakers, but then I think that would be very well applied to you because speaking of the impact, it's if you make it emotional, people will get in touch in that part even more. I mean, this is your pitching sounds so flat, although the topic is very interesting. So in order to get people engagement in your case, I think make it, more dramatic or problematic or, whatever. That would be help. And reading, for me, it's not acceptable at all for the pitching, because you cannot lose your eye contact with the audience at all when you do pitching. I mean, that is very important. So I think make it more dramatic in terms of, get people being more emotional about the impact because there's a term impact there. So once you have an impact, you have to make people feel that there will be some kind of impact. And your topic is already interesting. It's just the way you present it. Right.
Thank you for your commentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Natapong Saipin. And now I would like to invite Ms. Nathalika Lautamthi from the Faculty of Sciences, Chulalongkorn University, up onto the stage. Please give her a big round of applause.
The sea is dying. If you see fish and coral reef die, it means that sea. It's awful. Please let me tell you what the problem is. The contamination of oil in the sea, and it's gonna stay for a long, long time. Everyone knows, right? It is not a secret problem by now, and it's considering to occur again and again in the future. So we should step in to fix the environment. The most important question is how to remove tons of oil from the sea. The microbiology suggests that the small organisms like bacteria can eat oil, and it is a powerful method, especially if they work together like a team. In that team may contain various members which have different duties. It's like our hands, which have 10 fingers. Each finger have on duty. Then oil is eaten and disappear from the environment. Therefore, this research focus on constructing a bacterial team for clean up oil. First of all, the bacterial team is formed from various bacteria which have different functions. A good bacterial team in this study consists of two big bosses who work hard for eating oil, another one like a chef who make oil smaller and easily to eat. The last one usually is more oil. They always support and help each other. Next, zeolite. Zeolite is a tiny log. It is suitable to be a strong home for bacterial living. and protecting them from the danger. It acts like sponge to absorb oil a little bit. After that, bacteria attach and eat oil. Now, a good bacterial team is ready to use for clean up oil around the world. Even if faced to extremely dangerous situation, it still keep eating. Lastly, it's perfectly cleaner and is so environmentally friendly. Lastly, but not least, the sea is blue, it's refreshing, it's beautiful. Okay, let's go to the beach together and make it cleaner for everyone. The sea will not die after all. Thank you.
I like the pacing, I like the tone. It's jargon-free. That's what I like. I was intimidated by your topic at first, but you make it easy. I like your metaphor. It was good, and I think that my kid would love to hear it as well. It's like you're telling a tale. So it's very easy to understand. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your lovely presentation. Okay, about the verbal part, I like your comparative words. Yep, it helps a lot to increase the imagery of the audience. And of course, for your presentation, if you should put some like keywords, on your presentation so the audience can follow and catch up your main content. Thank you.
I like your presentation. I just now I was into the content, and the way you presented. Well, you gave both a nice introduction and a very nice ending, okay? And including a nice organization, and also you gave a clear articulation of the thesis, okay? And I really like it when you emphasized some significant parts with nice intervals, nice pace throughout the presentation. Nice body language, and you didn't look stressful at all. Although I don't know about inside, but you sounded relaxed, okay, to the audience. And I also like the slide.
Thank you so much.
It's simple and comprehensible. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I love the way you present your work, your thesis. Even though it's quite very scientific thing, but you can make it very easy to understand why you have to mix all those and form like a bio team, and which one had its own duty, and you make it very easy to follow you with your body languages as well, which is very impressive. And you are such a good storyteller, I would say, easy to follow and very simply and easy to understand.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, again, since it's scientific related topics, I would love to learn more about the process, because you also have some time to spare, because it's people enjoy you telling story. It's like listen to the tale before going to sleep, or making people alert about the topics. But I would enjoy even more if you can put in more details from a scientific point of view.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for a very interesting thesis presentation. And now for our next speaker, I would like to invite Miss Nisa Gon Ampalop, Graduate School, Chulalongkorn University, up onto the stage. Please give her a big round of applause.
In our daily life, you may have discarded some electronic waste like your unwanted television, your unwanted washing machine, and your unwanted electronic fans as your home. And do you have any idea where this unwanted electronic equipment is sent to? In Thailand, every year, about 300,000 tons of electronic waste is transported to a community in Buriram province, where the villager operate a family-run e-waste burning facility. This facility seems to be normal and simple, but the point is that this burning facility is located amongst the paddy field, and this can cause a severe effect to the paddy soil. The activity that the e-waste recycler normally do is open burning. They normally open burn the electronic wire cables that can cause a heavy metal contamination due to the process of getting the precious copper, and then they sell them. My first question to the e-waste recycler is, do they know what is the consequences of the e-waste burning? Since the e-waste equipment is generally composed of many kinds of heavy metal like cadmium, copper, and zinc, and this metal can cause an adverse effect to environment and even the living thing, the tiny living thing. Burning it directly on background, imagine that during the burning, the metal that's composed in the electronic equipment can deposit on the soil surface and then can penetrate to the soil due to the influences of rainfall. And with a mountain, imagine a mountain of the electronic wire cable being burned in the burning site. The copper can extremely or severely contaminated in the soil. And this soil was contaminated more than 6 times for the reference value in the paddy field, which means that this burning site need to be treated and cleaned to be a better quality in order to suitable for paddy soil or paddy agricultural activities and suitable for living purpose for the local people and the local animal. By finding out this kind of information, the e-waste recyclers are recommended to operate in a closed system to protect the environment, and always recommended to wear the personal protective equipment to prevent themselves from the hazard of heavy metal hazardous. As this age of technology, helping the e-waste recycler to work environmental friendly is like helping them to live their life and our life happily in the golden age of technology right nowadays. Thank you.
Very good timing. It would have been a lot better if you make your introduction a little more welcoming, a little more engaging. I understand completely what you're trying to make people realize that, hey, you know what, this is serious. But if you make like, hey, you know what, this is serious. People, guys, come on, listen. People would come a little bit more, certain, and would understand you more. You may improve a little bit more on you try to convey the impact. You try to make people understand about the impact of this. This is dangerous, guys. Try to quantify it a little bit, because I know this is serious, but I don't know how serious it is. So quantify it a little bit more. It would be good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. Well, your stable standing show your confidence about what you are present, okay? And one thing that you should keep in mind is about the eye contact, okay? So you should not change your eye contact during or between the sentence. You should, when you stop, when you finish your sentence, then you change your eye contact. It helps more audience can get what you present.
Okay, thank you for a very interesting presentation. I think your topic is interesting and could contribute to the problem, right? A big issue in our society. I think you, the essential parts were allotted sufficient time, and I think you could cover the essence of your thesis in 3 minutes. Okay, and I agree with Jan. You seem to look relaxed and confident, and that's a good thing. Okay? And Yes, overall, I think it's an impressive presentation.
Thank you.
Your topic is very impact to the environment, but I would love to hear more about your technology because you just explain a little bit about in the closed system, right? But you don't give us more detail about your technology, why you have to choose your technology, not other, something like that. And I feel like you want to move your body more, but you don't know how to like which way you have to move or something like that. So I think it would be great if you can use your body languages more and use the stage more benefit. Okay, so it would be great to improve your engagement from the audience.
Thank you.
I think your presentation raised me a question why it has to be that province. I mean, it's like the previous judge said, it's not clear, on the part that why you select that specific province and it's because most people speak about general problems and things, but this thesis topic is very focused on that province. So there must be some kind of catching point that people would, follow you why it has to be that kind of area or, why it has to be done in order to improve something there or,
Thank you very much for all the comments.
Thank you very much. That was a very interesting presentation. And as for our next speaker, I would like to invite Ms. Farah Shahu Rajput from Faculty of Science, King Mungkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give her a big round of applause.
Everything in this universe is running in a balance, and we call it the balance of nature. And a single disturbance in this balance can destroy everything. Just like our body, we have several balance systems in our body, and I'm here to talk about the intestinal microbial balance. Yes, our gastrointestinal system have microorganisms, the ones which are good for our health. They keep us healthy and help in digestion. We call the good microorganisms. And the ones which causes harm, we call them the bad microorganisms. So the balance is between them. A little interruption in this balance, the cause can be anything, like overdosage of antibiotics as they wipe away the good bacteria with the bad ones, aging, stress, unhealthy food, anything. But this intestinal balance, when it is interrupted, it causes severe health problems and diseases, like intestinal bowel diseases, intestinal ulcers, diarrhea, constipation, and even cancer. Our life is at risk, but we don't have to worry about it. All we need is probiotics, on which I am working. The probiotics are basically the good microorganisms. They are good for our health, they restore the intestinal balance and keep us very healthy. Now the question is where we can find such microorganisms. I found my good microorganisms from honey, which is an excellent food source for probiotics. People are working with bacteria, but I choose the microorganism yeast as it is poorly studied and can grow in the use of antibiotics and have many beneficial advantages which bacteria doesn't have. So how I did that? Firstly, the thing was identification, to know that if my yeast samples are safe for use, because not all yeast are safe for human use. So I identify them by their DNA and the genes. I did their genomic identification and come to know that some of my yeasts were safe for human consumption. Secondly, I test them for their survival inside human body, because not all the yeast can survive inside human body, the harsh environment of our stomach. So I did several biochemical tests in the lab to know that they can survive inside human body or not, as the high temperatures, the acid environment of our stomach, and low pH, etc. And third, there was to check the probiotic property. So what I found that all my yeast were able to grow inside human body and even have probiotic properties. So you can have it into your delicious food without considering it as a probiotics, as a medicine.
So that means lactobacillus and bifidobacterium are safe?
Yes, the bacteria, some of them are safe for use, but they show some limitations. As a person is ill and taking antibiotics, antibiotics mechanism is killing same, so they won't survive, but yeast can.
All right. Okay. That makes me understand better. It was good start, but I lost somewhere in the middle a little bit. You know, when you were trying to say something a little bit more about probiotics, I was, losing a little bit, but I gained my own attention by the end. It was good. Thank you.
Okay. I feel like you are excited, right? And of course, about your presentation, if you present or if you talk slower, don't rush. You can avoid or so on. Okay, so you can control your presentation. Yes. Okay, it will helpful.
Okay, I think you had a nice start, okay? And overall the content was comprehensible. However, after a nice start, there was some kind of hesitation which could distract the audience a bit. But overall, your tone could capture the audience attention very well, and the content was concise and comprehensible to me. Thank you.
It is quite interesting about your work, the yeast in the honey, but I would love to hear more we know that you choose honey and you choose yeast, but we would love to hear more why, the reason you choose this but not other probiotics, but we couldn't see in your slide or even the way you present it. Okay, it would be great if you give more information about the reason why you choose this. Okay.
Overall, I liked it. The way you begin and the way you convince people and how you smile and how you, although you seem excited, but you try to make it natural. The ending is very important. I mean, if people pause, they don't give you applause. They don't realize that you ended. So I think that's very important. So in order to wrap up the presentation, I think that's something you have to think about.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was a very nice presentation. Please give her a big round of applause. And now I would like to invite Ms. Huang Seung Tipik, Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give her a big round of applause.
Imagine you are a farmer surrounded by 1,000 tons of agricultural waste. What are you going to do? You throw it away or you burn it. If you burn, it will cause a PM 2.5 problem that will destroy environment and human health. For me, I'm going to convert it to high value added product called malic acid. That is my study focus on. So what is the malic acid? I believe that you have tasted it before. It's contained in the apple fruit, and malic acid is used widely in many industrial fields like detergent, food, and personal care. So how to convert agricultural waste to the malic acid? Do you know the inside of the agricultural waste? It contains many kinds of interesting sugar like glucose and xylose. They are delicious food for bacteria can eating and growing to produce the malic acid. So the question that how can we get those sugar out? So according to the traditional method, pretreatment is required before the degrading the raw material, followed by the enzyme action to release the monosugar like glucose or xylose. But however, pretreatment is very expensive step and also produce many kinds of toxic compounds that inhibit the bacterial growth and the enzyme action. So how can we overcome that problem? Here is my solution. I found that super green enzyme, and my result confirmed that which is a huge multifunctional magic. He confidently need to break down and also destroy all the complicated structure of agricultural waste without the pretreatment to release to the cycle. And this is my first step of my study. In the second step, I will look for another special bacteria named Acetobacter. They can prefer to eat the cyano and then convert it to the malic acid by itself. And finally, with my green techniques, I believe that many other products also produced from the agricultural waste, not only in Thailand and also in the world as well. And if you have any waste, don't throw it away. Just think it first and make it valuable. And if you cannot, don't hesitate to call me. I'm going to help you and make it Thailand become the #1 country known as with the zero waste country in the world. Thank you.
My recommendation to you, the first thing is to breathe. No, but it's a positive comment anyway. Yeah, I can feel your excitement. Really, really exciting.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I can feel that. But I like your smile, I like your enthusiasm. I like it when you're interacting with the board and you're trying to engage with the audience. That's really calling, engaging. But breathe. Thank you.
Thank you, Yes.
Okay. You are so energetic, but you move too fast. Okay. Okay. I am tired. Okay. About your presentation. Okay. One thing is that you move a lot on the stage. Okay, and you have to you have to plan that when you should move and when you should not. Okay, and if you plan to use your presentation, or you want to point into your presentation, you have to prepare some equipment such as pointer. Okay, it helps a lot.
Thank you for the comment.
Okay, one thing I like about your presentation is like you expressed enthusiasm for your research, and that's a good thing. Although you looked a bit nervous, right? And one more thing, I think you could reduce some jargons or some technical terms to make your content more comprehensible to lay people. not just people in your field, right? It is said that a good thesis should be comprehensible to anyone, you know, just like the presentation. And along with that, I think maybe you could reduce, I think the slide is a bit overwhelmed with technical things, you know. You could reduce down a bit.
Thank you for the comment. I will receive it and improve next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you are quite into your thesis work. I mean, you are trying to explain in detail and very scientifically, that's what I would say. So I think you can wrap up a bit and what the key point that you want to deliver and how it is important for the other application that would you like to deliver to the audience, right? But you use more time into detail about your thesis working, how to get those kind of silanase and to get the malic acid, something like that. I think that's too detailed for the 3 minutes. Okay, so if you could wrap up and try to get just only key point to deliver to the audience, you will get more engagement from the audience.
Thank you.
Yeah, similar to previous two judges, you have too much scientific details. It sounds like we are listening a group meeting or, you know, a presentation in a symposium, which is not a point where we have 3-minute pitching. So I think in order to have a successful 3-minute pitching, the impact in general is much more important. So you have to divide your timing into that part more. I mean, people are convincing. It's interesting on what you done on your thesis, but in general, in terms of impact to people, you still lack of that part. So toning down on a scientific part and add up on other things that people can reach into what you've done. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give her a big round of applause. And I believe this is our last speaker for the morning session. Meanwhile, I would like to ask our lovely judges to go have some rest and maybe finalize the score for the morning session on the 3rd floor of this building. Yeah.
Wow, that was a very intense morning session indeed. I feel like this conversation gives the audience in the Facebook Live a lot of closure to what your thesis is about. It also, like, not only does it gives academic knowledge to the audience, but also helps you in terms of your public speaking skills and also to improve the effectiveness of your communication as well.
Right, and for, you know, our speaker, they also have to be comprehensive and very content about what they're speaking and about what they're researching about, and they will also have to be logical in the sense that they know what they're doing, and they would also have to be very engaging so that the audience would get what they're trying to say and have a clearer understanding from what the speaker is trying to say.
Yes, and let me remind you about the prize reward for this competition. For the gold champion for PhD, they will receive 50,000 baht, and for the gold champion for master's degree and the silver champion will receive 50,000 baht and 35,000 baht respectively. Not only that, but the popular vote winner will also receive 15,000 baht.
Right, and for our popular vote, we want to remind you that now we have our QR code, and feel free to scan them and vote, you know, the speaker you like. And if you don't get to scan the QR code, you can go ahead and visit our Facebook page, which is 3MTCU. And for our popular vote winner, they will receive the prize of 15,000 baht and will also, for the PhD winner, they will get to go compete as a representative of Thailand in the Asian Pacific region. However, due to some COVID issue, there will be further announcements, so please stay tuned and catch up our news that we will post on the Facebook page.
Yes. For last year, I hear that for the winner for PhD, they also get about $1,500 from the sponsors for their flight tickets and stuff to go to Queensland, Australia for the national round in the Asia Pacific region. And for this year, we will not know about the sponsors yet, but please stay tuned in our Facebook 3MTCU or the official Facebook page for 3MT Asia Pacific. Before we head into our lunch break, we will show you the interview from last year's winners to get a little more insights of how their presentation was. Please enjoy.
First of all, I would like to thank you very much for 3 Minutes Thesis organizations that organize this very great events. And by the way, I think this event is very nice and very helpfully for the graduate students to energize them and for encourage them to target and also very interested on the research. And also, I think it's very great opportunity to show your study that you try to complete them just within 3 minutes, and you can present this well to the all of the audience that in the come from many of the many science and also with the art series. So I think it's a very great event.
Why did you participate in the competition?
Honestly, I just saw from the Facebooks, and anyway, I think it is very nice to try something pitch because at the beginning I never tried this kind of things before. Yeah.
And what do you think you get from the competition?
I think it's actually led me to improve myself, to target on my research more, because I need to focus just only on 3 minutes, and I need to tell everything about my thesis to everybody. So I think it's very very emphasized and very nice jobs that for this event.
What do you impress about the competition?
Yes, I think this event is very have a very great organization, and I also think that's for the good opportunity that for the winner that can come to share their thesis in the Queensland. This is very good opportunities, and also I really appreciate them for to get this prize, and I hope that she will get a very good opportunity and get the winners at the Queensland University as well.
Would you like the 3MT to be organized for the third time next year?
I think should be more of the more announced, not especially for just for the websites and also for the Facebook. I think maybe from the Twitter and also with social media, such as for the more of advertisement. I think on the television, something like that, or the radios, it might be very helpful.
What would you recommend your senior?
Senior,
yeah, undergrad student.
Oh, for the undergrad students, I think of course, I will discuss with my seniors fellows and also with the students about these very nice programs like this 3 minutes event, and I also to support of graduate students to target on these events next year for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
That was a video from one of our finalists, and now we have 2 more videos where you can have a glimpse of what it's like.
ครับจบงานไปแล้วนี่เรารู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับงาน 3 Minute Thesis
จบไปแล้วรู้สึกโล่งค่ะคือก่อนหน้าก็คือต้องเตรียมตัวอะไรเงี้ยเพราะว่าจริงๆก่อนหน้าตื่นเต้นมากไม่คิดว่าตัวเองจะตื่นเต้นขนาดนี้นะตอนซ้อมยังตื่นเต้นเลยเพราะว่ากลัวจะเกิน3 นาทีอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเพราะว่าถ้าเกิน3 นาทีมันก็จะตัดเลยใช่ไหมล่ะอะไรเงี้ยเราก็เลยต้องแบบซ้อมเยอะนิดนึงแต่พอจบก็โล่งค่ะแล้วก็สนุกดี
ทำไมเราถึงตัดสินใจเข้าร่วมโครงการนี้ครับ
เพราะว่าจริงๆเห็นตั้งแต่ปีที่แล้วก็คิดว่าง่ายก็เลยมาสมัครค่ะแต่เอาเข้าจริงอ่ะมันไม่ง่ายนะมันยากเพราะว่าแบบการเลือกข้อมูลมาใส่หรือว่าแบบต้องซ้อมคือแบบ จริงๆคือถ้าคิดว่าแบบมันหลุดไปแบบ2ประโยคหรือหลุดไปกี่คำอย่างเงี้ยเวลามันจะเกินไหมเพราะฉะนั้นแบบเวลาทำอย่างเงี้ยเราก็เลยแบบอันนี้พูดได้ไหมเนี่ยแบบเรามีบัฟเฟอร์เวลาสมมติเวลาเราซ้อมอย่างเงี้ยเราก็จะให้มันประมาณแบบเหลือสัก15วินาทีหรือ10วินาทีอะไรแบบเนี้ยค่ะ
หลังจากที่เราได้มาเข้าร่วมเนี่ยเราคิดว่าเราได้รับประโยชน์อะไรจากกิจกรรมนี้บ้างครับ
ได้เยอะนะจริงๆแล้วเพราะว่าเรารู้สึกว่าตอนแรกอะเอาจริงๆพูดตรงๆเลยเราคิดว่าเราจะเอาแอปสแต็กของเราแบบมายัดแล้วเราก็พูดเลยอะแต่ในความเป็นจริงแล้วภาษาเขียนกับภาษาพูดอะมันไม่เหมือนกันแล้วก็งานของเราอะจริงๆพี่เอาไปให้เพื่อนที่อยู่สายสังคมมาฟังกลายเป็นว่าแบบเราคิดว่าโอ๊ยเนี่ยแหละแบบซิมเปิลแล้วแต่จริงๆแล้วคือสายสังคมนี่คือแบบไม่รู้เรื่องเลยนะเพราะฉะนั้นแบบวอร์ดดิ้งที่เราเอามาเปลี่ยนอะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็เลยแบบคือมันต้องเปลี่ยนเลยนะคือเนื้อความเหมือนเดิมจริงแต่ว่าสตรัคเจอร์ของประโยคอะไรเงี้ยคือแบบมันต้องเปลี่ยนเพื่อให้คนที่แบบไม่ได้อยู่ฟิลเราอะไรเงี้ยแบบเข้าใจ
โอเคแล้วเรารู้สึกประทับใจอะไรมากที่สุดครับกับกิจกรรม 3 Minute Thesis
ประทับใจเหรอคะอันนี้เห็นได้ชัดเลยคือ10 คนอะไรเงี้ยคือเราได้เพื่อนใหม่ดีกว่าแล้วเราก็เพื่อนเราก็มาจากแบบหลายฟิลอะไรแบบเนี้ยก็รู้จักกันมันได้มิตรภาพนะพี่ว่าคือเราไม่ได้คิดว่าเราแข่งกันหรอกเราก็มารู้จักเพื่อนใหม่ๆแล้วก็ทำยังไงแล้วก็พอมันมีเทรนนิ่งเซสชั่นใช่ไหมมันก็จะมีแบบแชร์แบบว่าก็มีคอมเมนต์ว่าสไลด์คนนี้เป็นยังไงบทพูดคนนี้เป็นยังไงอะไรเงี้ยคือเราก็แบบช่วยเหลือกันมากกว่า
แล้วในส่วนของปีหน้านี้เราอยากให้มีกิจกรรมแบบนี้ต่อหรือเปล่าก็จะเป็นครั้งที่3ของจุฬา
แน่นอนต้องมีแน่นอนค่ะเป็นกิจกรรมที่ดีจริงๆใครที่ยังไม่ได้สมัครนะเตรียมตัวไว้เลยปีหน้าเตรียมบทไว้เลยจริงๆแอปสแต็กเอามาเปลี่ยนเลยจริงๆสนุกมากได้ประโยชน์มากกว่าที่คิดจริงๆค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
จากงานนี้มันเป็นงานของบัณฑิตศึกษาครับเราจะแนะนำน้อง undergrad ที่อยู่เป็นปี 4ยังไงบ้างครับเกี่ยวกับกิจกรรมปีหน้าเขาจะขึ้นไปเป็นบัณฑิตศึกษา
สำหรับน้องปี 4ใช่ป่ะอันนี้ส่วนตัวเลยนะอย่างตอนพี่เรียนปี 4อย่างเงี้ยมันใช้ภาษาไทยเยอะใช่ป่ะคะแล้วแบบพอถ้าสมมติว่าน้องคนที่เก่งภาษาอังกฤษอยู่แล้วว่าเอาจริงก็แบบอาจจะไม่ยากนะพี่คิดว่าคนที่สำหรับภาษาดีอยู่แล้วแต่น้องที่สมมติว่าแบบเฮ้ยไม่เก่งภาษาอังกฤษคือแบบไม่ชอบเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็เป็นโอกาสที่ดีนะในการที่จะแบบฟอร์สตัวเองให้แบบหันมาสนใจภาษาอังกฤษเพราะจริงๆแล้วภาษาอังกฤษมันแบบสำคัญนะเวลาเรียนต่อป.โทเวลาเราอ่าน journal หรือเวลาเราอ่านอะไรเงี้ยทุกอย่างมันก็เป็นภาษาอังกฤษอะค่ะเวลาเขียนเล่มอย่างเงี้ยตีพิมพ์เปเปอร์คือมันต้องเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเพราะฉะนั้นแบบมันก็เหมือนเป็นเวทีหรือว่าเป็นโอกาสให้เราแบบได้ฝึกฝนแล้วก็ได้เริ่มต้นในการที่จะแบบให้ภาษาอังกฤษมันอยู่ในชีวิตประจำวันของเราอะไรแบบนี้
หมดแล้วครับขอบคุณมากครับ
So next, we will have our afternoon session after the lunch break, where in the afternoon session, we will also have 10 more competitors and also a closing ceremony for today's event. As of right now, it is time for our lunch break, and you can enjoy our lunch on B floor, which is the lowest floor on this building. Once you reach B floor, turn right, and then there will be somebody waiting for you to take you to the dining room. Thank you very much, and please come back to this room by
4 p.m. 1 p.m. Sorry. At 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much.